So here's what I mean by they see your shares. I mean, I am convinced that they see your shares and they will manipulate it so that it will go against you. So I had an order just in case it was gonna put flush as this was going lower. I was thinking, well, if it breaks this level, it's going to flush. So I'm gonna put it right below 32.90. I had a contingency on a price target to buy the 3300 puts, 5 puts if it breaks below 32.90. Of course, the manipulators, the market makers, they actually see your shares out there and they literally go right below. You can see right there up here on the low. It went right to 3289.5. It broke 3290, just a fraction, just so it can execute my puts. This puts right here. So this guy right here, literally, the high right there, 34.55. That's my put that they executed, or they moved the tick so that they could get me to buy those puts. And right when they bought those puts right here, not right here, right here, they reversed on me. So instantaneously, I was down 700 right off the bat. Instantaneously. Right off the bat, I was down 700, and then of course, I was just caught in the headlight at that time because I could not believe that they just moved it down, just basically just tick it down and right back up, and it was up fast. It was like it moved, boop, and then boom, rapid fire right back up, down 700 off the bat. I could not believe it, and then I was just caught in the headlight. Then it just started ticking higher and higher, and I just like, oh my goodness, I was just hoping at that point, just hoping, but you can't hope. Basically, hoping is, yeah. Then it went all the way to VWAP. Of course, I was saying, well, now that it gets to VWAP, it may be reversed. No, it broke VWAP, and it really it stopped me out. And so here it is, the $5,000 loss um, on these puts. Otherwise, everything was pretty much good. Selling the options were good. Just these stupid puts, and of course the other one I had was right here where I lost 1,000 on this price level that I was hoping for a reversal. In hindsight, that was pretty dumb too because it was so much strength at this point. I was just hoping for a scalp. Just a little scalp. And so the new strategy going forward, essentially the new strategy is I'm only gonna buy the options on a push flush. So this is what I'm talking about. This is a push. Actually, it's a squeeze. They're squeezing the shorts and a squeeze. So this is where you can only buy your options, in this case buying the calls. If you look at the calls right here is when they actually, you can see the signal that they were buying it, right? There was strength on these calls, and then this one just continues strength. So this is the only time you can buy the options, in this case the calls. In the opposite direction would be the flush. So here example is here's of course the calls. The next one here, of course, you can buy it on this one. This is called, of course, the flush. And of course this right here, this is another flush. These are the only time, of course, there's this option expiration where it's just a gradual push up. This is the only time you can buy the options on these scenario. Any other scenario, you are literally, they're going to reverse it on you. If you buy it here or here, anything where you think is technical, even that VWAP, they're probably gonna go the opposite direction because they see your shares. and they're going to manipulate it the wrong way, the opposite way, just to squeeze you out. The only time they can't do it is on the scenario where it's just higher volume and they're just you have the backing of the manipulators, right? Those who are controlling the options. This is when they want it to move. This is when they are taking the concerted effort to squeeze out the shorts. This is the only time you can get in and make money on the options. At any other point, um, I mean, this right here, technically, you look at this should have gone up and at least penetrated because it kind of broke higher here. But of course, they only did this breaking higher just for me to execute those puts and reverse. Had I looked at it, actually, the other mistake I made was using the Amazon, the individual stock as the contingency. I should have used, from now on, I gotta use the index. So if I use the QQQ, a little bit below here as the breakdown point, they can't manipulate an index to go below a level, because it's an index, right? I mean, they can, but they won't. And so a price contingency on the index to execute the Amazon would have been the right one, because you can see here it didn't go below, but here it broke down on Amazon just so it can execute, just so it can get me to execute those puts, and then reversed on it. You can see the other trap right here on the VWAP. They just went right below VWAP on Amazon, but of course on the QQQ, they can't do it on the QQQ. It won't, right? They can't manipulate the QQQ like that. So the QQQ will have support right before VWAP, and that's where it ran up. And so here is where, yeah, I got tricked on this level too. Um, and I want to see let me see what the Q did on that level. Well, yeah, it wasn't anything on that one. But yeah, so the strategy is, they see your shares, so you got to only buy the options on the push flush or at key levels, and if it doesn't move, if it doesn't go in your direction, get out. If you reverse, get out. Don't hope. It's a trap. Because normally, if it goes, it's gonna go. Especially when you buying it on a push flush. So you're buying it on a push flush on the key levels. They typically they will go. In this case, it would have went the opposite right away. Once you get to this level, boom, it should go, not really that fast, but you should see it move. Um, you know, and that's if it doesn't move, you gotta just take your loss. But this is not even the right play, because from a low, normally when from a low, it'll keep going higher. So, and especially in the afternoon. So this only works if it were up here, and then it can go down, and only in the morning. Once you get to the afternoon, this type of level, especially from a low to a high, it's just gonna keep going. Yeah. So that's the squeeze right here, and that's where, well, I lost 5-6 thousand, unfortunately. But lesson learned. It was a good learning experience because I don't normally buy options, so need a good strategy for tomorrow playing just from playing options. Period. So tomorrow, if I do play, it is option expiration for the month, meaning it's the third month. It's the key option expiration. That's why there's so much volume right now. You can look at it, so much volume, because it is the option expiration for the month, the third week of October. It's the monthly expiration, and that's the first month of the quarter. So a lot of option volume, um, heavy on the call side, so which indicates that it will be higher. Especially on Apple, you can see heavy on this option right here. Yeah, this is the option that's heavy on. So this indicates to me 130,000 options. This indicates to me that Apple will probably be positive. The only thing is the QQQ is negative on the puts, meaning it's heavy on the puts. So this does mean that there are players who are playing the indexes to be negative, but playing the indexes, I mean, it's not the individual stocks are more powerful than the indexes. So I don't know if this is that as much powerful as having a lot of option buyers on Apple and Amazon on the big flyers like Apple, Amazon. Let me see what Google looks like. Google doesn't. They don't do options on Google that much for some reason, even though it's a expensive stock. Let's look at Tesla. Yeah, lots of options on Tesla. Man, this is looking like I don't know. Tesla is weird. I mean, a lot of option buyer here on Tesla. Definitely, they want this option to move. But it's hard to say right now because it is option expiration, monthly option expiration, so it can move any way it wants tomorrow. But it will move. My thinking is whether it be a gap up or a gap down, it really doesn't matter at this point. They know the direct unless there's some news that they know that it's gonna move either to 3300 if the data is weak tomorrow on the economics, or if there's any bad news tomorrow. If there's any good news, any good data, they will probably move it to 3400, maybe even above 3400. That's my expectation. But I gotta wait for the flush or the push, right? I can't just guess. I gotta actually watch the options and see that they're moving up, where there's actually volume building up on the options, and that's the only time you can get the options. Otherwise, if you get it any other time, they're probably going to just squeeze you out or trap you to get you to cover, and they just move it the opposite direction. Um, so right now, I mean, everything looks kind of positive because it is a reversal. On the SPY, DIA, IWM, everything kind of looks retail, but the QQ is still kind of below the 5-day moving average. Um, so it's hard to say whether it's gonna be up tomorrow. I just know it's gonna move tomorrow. But the other thing is it is at key technical level. So you can see it did bounce off of the price level of 38.2, but it's below the 5-day moving average. The SPY is of course above, bounce off of the 61.8. So everything kind of bounced above the key technical level. DIA bounced above the 20-day moving average. Amazon is of course a bounce above the 38.2. Apple bounce above the 50. Well, no, it's right at the 50 actually. So it's at key level. No, actually, it's above 50. Yeah, slightly above 50. I'm expecting Apple to run. That's probably be the candidate tomorrow for me. It just looks like it wants to get to 38.2. Um, for whatever reason, I just feel like whereas Amazon. Now they gotta move in tandem too. So if Apple moves, Amazon move. But today Apple was showing the most strength, and Amazon was just showing weakness. I mean, just if you compare the two side by side, here, look, Apple just look a lot stronger than Amazon. Amazon just entirely weak. Huge gap down, just stay weak, and then Apple just a lot stronger. So, hard to say what's going to happen tomorrow at this point. Just, it is option expiration, so I may not even play at all. I may just have to watch for key levels. I'm not gonna play stupid thing like VWAP tomorrow. Or I gotta watch the trend. You can see today there wasn't any really trend. Huge gap down, meaning the trend normally means down, but it just wiggle around. It's oscillate. So, and the other thing was that key level. So, because of a rich price target, pretty much 38.2, it's kind of hard to break that. And even though I play for the flush at this point right here, had the QQQ broken down, I probably would have had I put the right target where this guy broken below here, then maybe it would have flushed below 38.2. Definitely, I think it will flush below 38.2. So this is where I need to put contingency. I might do a straddle tomorrow on Amazon. That's probably the best play. Let's see what Amazon the straddle would look like. So on Amazon right now at 33.40, about a 25 points. So if it opened up flat tomorrow, it'll be at 20, and I might buy either the 3300 puts and the 3400 calls, 10 of them. Um, just for kicks and I should double on them, especially if it gets to 3400. Probably gonna get yeah, yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. It is option expiration, and they may just yeah, it should move, but I don't know what direction. It should move. There's just too many volume on the options where it doesn't move, and it might move below 3300. So getting this guy, probably. I mean, it can easily be up to 40 tomorrow. Um, yeah, I can easily get to 40 if it breaks down below 3300, with whatever bad news that is. Or it can um, run above, go to 30. So it can, but it's so hard to play it, to be honest. I just don't want, yeah, it's just hard to play because it is option expiration. And it's just hard to determine. I mean, buying both the calls and the puts, especially today that I'm down, I just don't feel like wasting another day tomorrow. Should just play it safe and just wait for key levels. Um, Probably just wait for key levels like 38.2, or wait for a push flush. If a push or flush, and that's when I can get in. Otherwise, I just stay away from any of these traps. I mean, levels like any of these type. VWAP is gonna be traps. Even these 100-day moving average might be traps, depending on how they look. So yeah, easily to be manipulated tomorrow. There's just so many movers today. Look at TTD. So this guy right here. Um, yeah, look at this one move, and then now it reverses. There's just a lot of high flyer. I don't know. It just feels like a potential crash is coming because you got so many. But Amazon is so weak. Of all those stock, Amazon feels like it's the weakest. So, and that's because it's the most manipulated. I mean, you got other stock moving like BABA, who is not even anywhere. I mean, BABA all-time high above 300, which is nowhere close to what Amazon is. Didn't even get to near all-time high, and it has all this price upgrade. And COVID, I mean, an increase in COVID normally helps Amazon, but they're not gonna move Amazon because it's the main. I mean, the QQQ, Amazon is kind of pegged to the QQQ because they're just, I don't know why, they're just kind of locked together compared to even the biggest market cap like Apple. It's not it's not as as tandem or not as paired with QQQ as Amazon is. But yeah, a lot of movers and shakers, a lot of opportunities, and I mean it can be a reversal right now. Let's see what happened tomorrow. Yeah, October is gonna be so crazy. I think October is gonna be the biggest swinging of all the month. Well, I mean September is pretty crazy too, but it's more to the downside. And October will be swings, probably swings both ways, up and down. I mean, look at this. They just run it up and then run it down. I mean, all the way feel the gap. Unbelievable to run it like that. I mean, you're talking about here it is. Breakout, huge gap up, run it up, then run it down. All the way, pretty much feel the gap, especially if you're looking at it on Amazon. Run it, oh yeah, definitely feel the gap. I mean, that's crazy to run it that strong and then pull it all the way down to the gap. And now you say, well, it's still, I don't know, it's hard to say. Still can potentially, this you can say there's a channel here of lower low, but it's still lower low, lower highs. So it's not until it gets above here, it's not safe yet. So I guess if there's a channel here that you can draw, that it is kind of indicate to me it has to break above this level tomorrow for it to be, bullish and move toward, up here, up toward above 3,400. So it definitely needs to break above this level, this 3360-ish level. So that's what I'm thinking. Tomorrow option expiration. If I do play, I'm not sure if I'm gonna play, to be honest.